Hello, everyone. Welcome to Warp Taste Podcast. I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Ben ROSETT. Welcome. And Ben, you're one of my favorite drummers, but I know that you do drumming for your nice, super cool solo project, along with guitars and riffs and stuff. But some people might know you from this little band. Like you guys have done some cool tours sometime, but like Strawberry Girls. I think you guys played just like a sold out show the other night. I mean, you guys are doing all right, I think. But not Ben, thank you so much for coming on, dude. You're awesome.
Hey, dude. Thanks for having me. Been looking forward to it.
We got Ben chilling in the hot tub at his Airbnb. He's fresh on tour. He's got a show tomorrow in Roseville, I believe. Correct?
Yeah, correct. Goldfield
Oh yeah.
in Roseville. Yeah.
And for the uninitiated, who are you going on tour with? I mean, it's got to be
So,
somebody cool, right? Strawberry Girls doesn't. I mean, you guys are known for touring with some pretty dope acts, I think.
yeah, so we're doing a national tour right now that just started a couple days ago with Pliny. I
Hmm.
always thought it was pronounced Pliny, but I was just informed that it's pronounced Pliny. Um, and yeah, he's an Australian guitarist, and he has a cool band backing him up. Um, Some people might be familiar with his guitar plugin from Neural DSP. I actually use that plugin for a lot of my solo music.
Hmm.
So yeah, we're touring with Pliny and Standards, who are the homies.
Oh yeah, love
And
standards, dude.
yeah, Standards are awesome. We toured with them a few times past couple years. But yeah, so we just started. We played Seattle, Portland, and then we're playing Roseville, like Sacramento area tomorrow.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And and if anyone is curious what you would hear at a Pliny Strawberry Girls and Standard Show, a brief description would be like intricate guitar work, maybe some Nintendo references, some 8-bit little noises in here and there, and just a really good time. Like just people
Yeah.
dancing, having fun. Like there's a mosh pit, but there's a lot of disco there, and it's just everybody's just having a good time. I highly recommend if you see Strawberry Girls Plenty or Standards in town, always go check that out because it's a good time, man. I believe I saw you guys play with Sufferer, and that shit was good. That was
Oh
such a good
yeah.
show.
That was at the 1720, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good
Yeah, I
show,
feel
dude.
like I think that was the last time I saw you in person,
I
probably.
I want to say, yeah, that's usually because when I lived in SoCal, Ben is the awesomest guy ever. And you just be like, hey, are you coming to the show? I come to the show and I'm there. And
Yeah.
freaking, yeah, 1720 is a great venue. That's one of my favorites. It's just like, and I think, like, as a musician, like, I don't know, having the stage, having like the back door open like that, it's got to be nice. Like, just have a draft a little bit.
Yeah, it's always nice not being too hot. That's kind of what's good about doing like a winter tour versus a summer tour. Summer tours are just brutal because you're just dealing with the heat.
Hmm. Melting in
But
the sun like lettuce, it's always fun.
yeah, well, I was gonna say it's cool that this tour is an all instrumental band tour, so that's kind of unique. I mean, doesn't usually happen too often, so kind
Oh,
of cool
yeah.
to tour other instrumental bands. So
It's something I think we can like. I mean, you guys are kind of like pioneers in that because I mean, I like Polyphia, Strawberry Girls, Animals as Leaders. Like you guys are all kind of like instrumental, but you guys go in your own different ways and stuff. But I
yeah,
think you guys are like instrumental in like making that more of a common sight because
yeah,
some people just like just vibing to really good music that gives you something more than just like because vocals tend to like just cover all that up and then you don't hear all the like intricacies and the brilliance of the melody and all that fun stuff. So to have
yeah,
a tour like that is great, and to see you guys like kind of cultivate the scene being that only instrumental band on the lineup, to have your guys' own tour that's full of y'all motherfuckers, like that's awesome. And I think that's
yeah.
something that like bands that are in that scene that are growing in that scene like would definitely have to tip their hat to you and maybe give you a thank you, like thank you, Ben Rosette.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I was inspired by a lot of early instrumental bands, when I was younger. And I mean, there's been instrumental music for a long time, but I think now, like, we're just starting to see it just get really popular and more mainstream. And since production is getting, so amazing and clean, it's like, yeah, it's easy to listen to bands like Polyphia and Sean and stuff because it just sounds so good. And it's produced so well. But yeah, I mean, instrumental music's been around for a long time. Like I mean, one of the first bands that changed my life was Terramellos.
Yeah.
Probably back in, I don't even know, like, I think I discovered him in like 2006 or something like that. Maybe earlier, I forgot. But yeah, and then, I mean, The Fall of Troy isn't instrumental, but I kind of throw them in that category a little bit because just the music, like the drums and the guitar, the way they like sync up, were really inspiring to me. Like,
That that and they always dedicate like a good 2-3 minutes of a song just to like you're gonna hear the instrumentals real quick, bro. We gotta
yeah,
lay this shit down real quick. Just pay
yeah.
attention.
Yeah, and then there was early bands like Piglet, like
Yeah,
the underground classics, like Caballero, and
yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's a
That's
lot of
like
other.
kind of like that's like before like the advent of like the internet, where it kind of like I'm sure like compared to your early days, being an instrumental band kind of makes you like an outlier. There wasn't so much of all that sync or like the sync of it all where you could go online and there's like a forum or a message board or a subreddit dedicated to math rock or instrumentals. Because in 2006 it was kind of just like I'm on easy board, dude. I listen to like Creed, Nickelback, and
Yeah, I mean, I used to discover a lot of bands on MySpace. I don't even remember how. Just like scouring MySpace and trying to find like weird, obscure bands that no one else knew about, and it
oh
was
yeah,
fun. Like,
the system for that back then was so cool because either you go look at your friend's page or someone that your friends like you see somebody like how does this person have 8,000 followers, and then you look at their profile song, you're like dang, they listen to good music, maybe I should go find some more stuff that's like that. And
yeah,
like they would used to have like the top 100 or and you had like there was a lot of looseness with the genres back
yeah,
then. You would find bands that are like we're acid rock, mathcore, and
yeah,
reggae jazz, dude, like with some EDM sprinkled in. And it's just like you went out of your way to find crazy. It's like, oh, I want to hear some more crazy stuff like this. Like, how do I do
yeah.
that? I'm gonna go down the genre rabbit hole, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. MySpace was really good about that. And there was no algorithms kind of being like, look at this sponsored post, dude.
I
Look at
know, right?
this. We have money to show you what we got.
Yeah, it was like less sophisticated back then, but it was cool. I mean, I used to download music on like Kazaa and LimeWire, and there was a couple websites where you could like download MP3s. HXCMP3.com was one
Mm-hmm.
where like you would,
Frostwire, shit like that.
yeah, like I remember downloading like three demo songs from The Chariot. Like I don't even remember what year it was, but I still have them somewhere on a hard drive. But yeah, it was just cool like discovering new bands, and like, yeah,
I
it was
think
fun.
it made it feel a little more personal because we had to go out of our way to find it and kind of like cultivate it. And another thing that
Yeah,
it does, it's kind of like a lost art these days is the art of the demo or like, the craft of like the MySpace version is so much sicker than that like released on the CD version. And
yeah,
it like there was so much of that on MySpace and it's kind
yeah,
of like it's not a thing anymore. You don't hear
yeah.
about like, oh dude, the demo was so sick. It'll come out on the deluxe edition 6 years after the album came out, and it's kind of just like, of course the original's better, dude. I've heard it a million times.
Yeah.
Good times, dude. Good times. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
MySpace. MySpace was sick, dude. And
Great time.
oh yeah, it was a great foundation, and it's kind of weird because it's kind of like I think we like everyone's always like it's always the end of days for social media. Like, oh, this social media is dying, dude. And some do fall harder than others. Because I remember Tumblr used to be a much bigger deal. It's still around, but it used to be a
Yeah,
much bigger deal on the echelon.
yeah,
And it's just kind of like MySpace is like it's still around, sure, but it's like nobody talks about it. Like it's kind of in the same breath as Tumblr, where it's kind of just one of those things. It's just like people still use
yeah.
that, like, and
I know. It just kind of faded away. It's not really relevant anymore. Like, I mean, right now it's like Facebook, Instagram, and then
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok's huge. X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
X.
R.I.P. little bird, dude. I don't know, man. X is gonna give it to us, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know. Social media is so weird these days. It's like it's kind of just like half of it is old knowledge that people have like accumulated on how like, how did the people on MySpace get famous? Well, they sat on their computer for like 12 hours sending links and doing this and that.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, I'm going to pay this ad bot for like 6 weeks of
Yeah.
time and it's just kind of like music's future is always kind of scary, because when you
Yeah.
think about like MySpace, like when it fell, it took all its pictures, it took all that music with it, and kind of
Yeah.
lost a lot of it. Like you
I
got
know.
MySpace arcade websites, and it's kind of like worrisome sometimes when you think about music in the modern era. Like, what happens if these things fall? Do we just start losing bands again? Like,
I know, right? Yeah.
it's scary, and it's just like we give all this control to like places like Spotify who who don't take care of artists, I don't think. And I
Yeah.
always wanted to give you, Zach, Strawberry Girls, kudos on your guys' Spotify game because it's so sick. Because you guys just collab with everybody and you just have all the sickest songs, all the sickest features. It's
Yeah.
like it's so good, dude. Like
Thank you.
because you recently started playing solo shows. You hadn't done that before, correct? Like that was something that you very
Yeah.
recently started getting into, huh?
So yeah, I think it was last year, was the first year where actually like I got a band together for my solo music, and yeah, I started playing shows. I think I maybe played like 10 shows or something like that, but it took a while because I had to, find the right people. And I went through a few different drummers until I finally found someone who was like dedicated, and his name is Isaac Brown. He
Oh
actually
yeah.
moved to Arizona um fairly recently. So yeah, so basically I got a band together and we played a bunch of shows, and it was awesome, super fun. And then my drummer and my bass player both moved around the same time. So then I kind of had to start over.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I'm at now. Like I'm starting over. I did recently find another drummer who's awesome, and he's a good friend and he's learning my stuff right now. And then my friend Kevin is learning my songs on bass. So I'm kind of in the process again of like teaching my friends the songs, and then hopefully in the next few months I'll be ready to play some shows again.
Hell yeah, dude. That'd be sick as fuck. I think you could kill it on tour, dude. Like,
I want to do like at least like a mini tour, a West Coast tour or something like that for my solo stuff, or maybe even like being able to open for a Strawberry Girls like West Coast tour or something like that would be sick.
dude, that would be so sick. You just shredded it on the guitar and it's like, I'll see you guys later.
And then go play drums.
Your arms are gonna be so tired
I
by the
know,
end of that
yeah.
tour. You're gonna be shredded, dude. You're just gonna have all the muscles. Hell yeah, dude. So
Might be a bad idea, but
it's like, how do I make myself tired? Speed run. But with you doing like solo stuff, like, you know, I'm sure you look at your music differently than you look at Strawberry Girls. So for a band for your solo project, what is somebody or an artist that you think that you would do a killer tour with that you possibly were like, well, maybe not for Strawberry Girls, maybe for a Ben Rosette tour, this would be more my speed, more my audience, kind of like I think this fits that
Mhm.
vibe.
That's a good question. I mean, I do feel like my solo stuff could work with like the scene that Strawberry Girls is in. I mean, it's a little different. Like my solo stuff isn't as aggressive and heavy as most of the Strawberry Girls stuff. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would feel out of place like playing with heavier bands. But I mean, I would love to do a run. I mean, this is like a dream run. Like one of my favorite bands is Floral.
Oh,
If you, yeah,
dude.
you know Floral, yeah.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorite bands, and like I know them personally, and I freaking love their music. Then,
Uh,
but they moved to Brooklyn, I think last year.
mhm.
So I don't know how realistic that would be, but yeah, I would love to do something with them. Covet would be super sick, and I feel like my music would fit like with their style.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll just say those two bands for now. Yeah,
I don't know,
Kevin.
man. I think you could like do like a really sick Pokemon tour, man. Like
Oh, actually,
you,
okay. I have to mention Ando San. He's from LA. You know him?
yeah.
Yeah, he's super sick, and we've done two collaborations. Um, and he came out to a Strawberry Girls show earlier this year, and I got to meet him in person for the first time. So that would be
Oh
super
hell
sick.
yeah.
And then,
Lots of
Wax a Million,
bands. Yeah,
Wax a
lots of
Million.
bands that you've done collabs with would be like hella sick. Like Caleb, like you just did one with them.
Yeah.
Uh like Little Geronimo would be sick to see on
Mm.
tour with you. Like that would be fucking cool. Uh
Yeah.
I just had it. But like to go with this tour one day, the Ben Rosette tour needs to have like a Pokemon Go sponsorship or a Pokemon unboxing give some because you're the master, man. Every Eon, every Evian is out there, man. And have you run out
Yeah.
yet?
Yeah, I still need to do two more Evolution songs. Leafeon and what's the other one? Um, why am I drawing a blank? Uh, I forgot the last one.
Is it the fairy type Sylvia? All right, I think you've done that one.
Leafeon. I haven't done Leafeon. Oh, Glaceon. That's the ice one.
Ice
Um,
one. So Leafy on Icy, it's that same generation where you had to use like a certain like part of the elements of the environment to transform them, which I always thought was kind of silly.
yeah, yeah. So eventually, I had the idea to like drop a Evolution EP or something, but like some of the songs are already out on like their own album or whatever. So then, yeah, I don't know. It might be weird, but I might just throw all those like Evolution songs on one like EP and then drop that. So.
Yeah. In my shit posting journeys on the internet, I recently discovered that we share the same favorite Pokemon, which is Dragonair.
Oh heck yeah!
Hell yeah, dude. That's my favorite. Just for some I don't know if it's the colors or like just the fact that like every Pokemon card or just like art for it, it's just doing something dope as fuck that's like kind of tranquil and serene. I don't
Yeah,
know what it is, but it's just something about that design. It's just the Dragonite just doesn't have it. It's just like I wish there
I
was,
know.
you know, you get
I
it.
feel the same way. Like, I mean, Dragonite is cool. I did have at one point a pretty expensive Dragonite card, but then I ended up trading it because I don't know the art for Dragonite. I'm not super into, but Dratini and Dragonair art. Yeah, I just love the aesthetic and the art for those, and
It's
those
just
are
like powdery blue pastel. It's just
yeah, those
and
are like two of my
he gets the
favorites.
little wings. They're like little Viking wings,
Yeah,
little horn. I don't get it. It's just
yeah,
they're dope as fuck.
yeah.
KFC had the Dratini plushie back when I was like a kid. I
What?
had that shit. Do you remember that? Were you
No.
around for the KFC plushie?
KFC was dropping like Pokemon plushies.
Hell yeah. Back when like Pokemon was like the its first wave of craze. Like we only
That's
had like
crazy.
two generations, one generation, I think.
Dang.
It was the dopest thing KFC did. Then they dropped the double down, which I thought was pretty cool, but it was no Dratini plushie. And there was like
Yeah.
the beanie plushies. They had little beans in them. So you know they were dope.
Yeah. That's sick.
I think plushies are a lost art. Like I feel like
Actually, oh, sorry to cut you off, but I was just gonna say I do have a new song I've been working on, and I'm planning on calling it Dragonair.
hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Do it. I think that would be dope as fuck. And I think you could do something really awesome with that. Cause I mean I'm an unashamed Pokemon fan, but I'm also an unashamed Ben Rosette names his songs Pokemon and they actually like be dope as fuck. Because they do. Like they're
Yeah.
like a whole ass mood, dude.
I just like, I mean, when I first started doing that, like, I mean, I hadn't even like been collecting Pokemon cards, and since I was freaking like in elementary school, but like Pokemon was a part of my life growing up, and
Yeah.
I just always liked the aesthetic of it and like the art and stuff. I mean, mainly of just like the first generation like cards and
Mhm.
stuff. But yeah, when I first started dropping my solo music, I'm like, I don't know what to call these songs, so I just like started calling them like Pokemon names and stuff. So
Nothing wrong with the OGs, dude. I don't
yeah,
know. There's a certain aesthetic that the original, and I think like even in like 250, they kind of stuck with that same kind of art style and the kind of like
yeah.
approach to it. But I mean, Eevee's evolutions go far beyond those, and there are some dope ones. And I think like Leafeon and Glaceon will have their day in Ben Rosette's discography.
They're coming.
So they ain't ready, dude. Big things coming soon. We just had to do it to them. Hell yeah, dude. So solo project aside, you got the tour with Strawberry Girls. You guys
Yeah.
released your first album without the help because I believe all your other records, I don't know about all your EPs, but I know your other records were released through Tragic Hero, correct? This
Yeah,
was like
correct.
your guys' first time to kind of doing it like DIY, like for an album.
Yeah.
I
So yeah,
remember.
we were on Tragic Hero Records for about 7 years. Originally, we only had well, it was like a one album deal with two options. Basically, like if you do well, the label gets to decide if they want to keep you for like two more albums. So we ended up doing three albums, and then I think um we re-recorded Italian Ghost, like our first EP, and then we ended up doing that through them. And then yeah, I'm trying to keep track, but yeah, basically our latest album, Prussian Gloom, was our first independent album since our very first EP, Italian Ghost. Um, so yeah, it's been cool being in an independent band again. Um, I mean, there's pros and cons, but it's nice being able to do whatever we want whenever we want to do it.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, like we earlier this year we recorded we re-recorded French Ghetto.
Hmm.
It's the 10-year anniversary this year of that album, and we just felt like the first version or French Ghetto back in 2013. Like we just we recorded it ourselves, and I was still learning a lot about production and all that. And looking back, I'm just like, man, the songs like could sound so much better. So we ended up, I think it was in January, we got together and we just re-recorded all those songs from scratch, and they sound like way sicker. The tempos are all like updated to how we actually play in live now, so they're a lot faster.
Yeah.
um, and the tones are just way better. And I'm still working on mixing it, so it probably won't come out until early next year. But yeah, basically it's just gonna be like a 10-year anniversary edition of French Ghetto.
Oh
And
yeah.
then after that, we're planning on getting together to just write a brand new album from scratch. So yeah,
Dude, that's sick. That's really cool. I'm always down with a band that has a plan and they're all DIY about it. And it's not like one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I don't know when it's coming out, dude. Maybe. And that's just their way of being like, my record label doesn't know, dude.
yeah. I mean, we got stuff in the works. It's just, I mean, I think one thing that's a little bit harder about not being on a label is like there's no pressure, which is
Mhm.
good, but it's also bad because it's like we're just taking our time. There's no like deadline or anything that we have to meet.
You're your own boss, and you're not gonna, I don't think you're gonna beat your own ass to like, you need to get this record label out, dog.
But like sometimes it's good to have that pressure to like
Hmm.
motivate us to like
Yeah.
get it done. But yeah, we're just taking our time. We're just like trying to be naturally inspired and just enjoying life. And yeah, we all have like other stuff we're doing too. Like Ian works full time. Zach's been touring a lot with like Kurt Travis.
Hmm.
Uh, and then I've been working on like my solo music and all that. So yeah,
Hell yeah, dude. That's what it's all about, man. Being able to go at it at your own pace, at your own speed. And, you guys
yeah,
make some like really good music. And like at one point, I believe you were releasing a song like every other week, dude. Like
yeah,
you're dangerous when you're in like work mode, man. And like you
yeah.
had like the release schedule of like a god for a minute. It was just like, Ben's got another song. Ah,
I
I
know.
need to go get to
Yeah,
work.
I've kind of been taking a break from that. I mean, sometimes it's good to like, build some tension and yeah, I haven't released anything in a while now, but I've just been
Oh,
laying low and stuff with everything going on in my life. So, but
yeah,
I think it's good. It's good to build that tension because then when I do drop another song in the future, it's gonna be like, oh dang, like he hasn't dropped a
yeah.
song in like a freaking a minute.
Uh,
Um,
they can't miss you if you don't go away just for a little
dang.
while. It's.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, man. Like when that thing hits, it's gonna be a nice little
But
because
I do
I
have
know you and you don't release trash, dude. You just read some good shit. And we
thanks.
were talking about bands that'd be sick for you to go on tour with your solo act. And I remembered who I was gonna mention. It was Waxamillion, and I freaking
Dude, yeah.
so sick, such a sick band. If you went on tour with them, I'd sell a kidney or something to go see it.
Yeah, I was thinking of him too. Um, because he just dropped a song like a week ago that I've been freaking obsessed with. I've literally been listening to it on repeat for like days. Um, it's so good. It's called Steezy. But yeah, he actually just messaged me a few days ago and he's like, dude, like I'd love to like open for Strawberry Girls or do a tour with you guys. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like I would love that. Like he's one of my favorite musicians. So I'd love to make that happen sometime. I don't know when, but yeah, Wax a Million and Ando San too would be sick on a tour.
Dude, that'd be. I'm like secondhand stoked for you right now. I'm all about that. That'd be sick, dude. Like
Heck yeah.
without a doubt.
But I do
Freaking.
have a lot of like I have a lot of stuff in the works, like just kind of on the back burner.
Mhm.
Um, it's just been marinating and yeah, I'm trying to just take my time with stuff because in the past I have kind of rushed projects. So I'm trying to just like, take my own time with it. But yeah, I mean I have a really cool like grindcore slash hardcore EP that I recorded a while ago with my friend Taylor Neal, who has
Genesis.
often, yeah, we did the Genesis EP together a while ago, and he's toured with Strawberry Girls multiple times. He's the guitarist for the band Tang, and
Yeah.
they're based in Nashville now. He was playing bass for my solo band, and then he moved to Nashville again. So I'm bummed that I lost him because he's an incredible musician. He plays everything amazingly: drums, guitar, bass, even vocals.
Wow.
Um,
That little
so
EP, that little grindcore EP you guys did, that shit was
yeah,
sick, dude.
but
I love that.
we have a second grindcore EP that we already recorded. I just have to finish mixing it. I got Sean Richmond from Arsonist Get All the Girls on vocals on a song, and then I got Taylor Bates from Steak Sauce Mustache on all the other songs. And
That sounds sick. That sounds so sick, dude.
it's freaking
I'm excited right now. Like
it's really
that's
dope. I'll send you a Dropbox link so you can check it out and you just tell me what you think.
yeah,
But
hell yeah.
it's unmixed, unmastered, it's raw. But I think
That's probably gonna be like I'm gonna be doing that demo thing, dude. I'm like the demos were better, Ben. I'm
I
sorry,
know.
dog.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
As
Um,
you should be, dude. That's a
and
good get right there. Are you
yeah, and
going
then
to stick? Because I know Genesis was done in the Sega font.
yeah.
Are you gonna call it Dreamcast? Is it gonna be Sega Saturn, Sega CD?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I don't know. I've kind of been stuck on trying to figure out the concept for the second EP. Like, I'm not sure where I'm gonna go with it. I'm still trying to figure all that out. Um, but I have some downtime on this tour, so hopefully I can spend some time thinking about that and just trying to figure out what I want to call it, name the songs, artwork, and all that stuff. And yeah. And then I was gonna mention some of my other projects. This project with one of my best friends, Kevin J. Dill. He's a solo artist as well under his name. And we have a band called Pretty Cute together. And we dropped singles like years ago and then we kind of put it on the back burner, but we have like a bunch more songs that we already recorded and I've been mixing them. And so eventually, probably in the next few months, hopefully, I'm gonna try to drop that EP, and it's really sick. It's really fun to listen to.
So
Um, and then Tajane is another project I had with Taylor Neal from Tang. Um, and Haley Woodward from Mukatite. Um, and we have another EP that we already recorded. Like we recorded it like a couple years ago, and we've just been sitting on it. We actually still have to record vocals on it, but we're gonna eventually drop that. And then I just have a bunch of solo music that I've been sitting on and writing, and I've been thinking about doing an acoustic EP, but I'm just not sure like what the reception would be. Like if I should just record these songs like on electric guitar, or if like it would be cooler on acoustic. I'm not sure what to do, or maybe both. I don't know.
That's where I was gonna go with it. I was just gonna be like, bro, just do both, man. Like give everybody what they want. Like you can make them leave all happy. And it's not like because I'm sure this would be for your solo stuff, correct? It's not like,
Yeah,
like Dashboard Confessional has, Screaming Infidelities and it has Screaming Infidelities acoustic. Then
yeah,
5 years later, acoustic live at like, AOL
yeah,
Studios, whatever it is.
yeah,
But I think that would be dope just to have like every little version of it. And it's just like,
yeah. I've just been. I mean, yeah. There's a few songs that I wrote on acoustic guitar, and like I could play it on electric, and it would be cool. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like where to go and what to do. Trying to switch stuff up and just like do different things. I don't want to be like put in a box or just feel like I have to only do one thing. I
of
mean, that's why
course.
it's fun to do the hardcore stuff because I grew up in the hardcore scene. Like I was in a band called Brutally Honest back in like 2005, and I
Yeah.
played guitar, and it was just like heavy chug chug breakdowns, screaming and
Yeah.
stuff. And like that's like what I grew up with. So I still have a place in my heart for heavy music, and I love
Of
doing that.
course.
It's super fun. But then I
Yeah.
also love like beautiful, chill acoustic music, and then like crazy math rock, and like yeah, I love it all.
At the very least, Ben, why not keep flexing on everybody? Like, just keep showing everybody you can do it all. You're a triple threat, dude. You can sing, you can dance, you can star in movies. Do it all, man. Why not?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
I mean, you're a musician, man, and it's like it's usually people that are either just good at one instrument or they have no idea what the heck like a melody even is. Like they're like, what kind of chicken is that? But for someone of your skill and your talent and the time that you've put into it, why wouldn't you want to hear what you can do with an acoustic? Why wouldn't you want to hear something that you used to do when you first started out? It's like I can still do that. Why not?
yeah,
Like being able to express yourself with an instrument, I think that's as important as going and getting your favorite food at the store, like watching your favorite movie or listening to your favorite song. It's kind of just like it's something that at you with like what you've learned and what you've gathered, like why wouldn't you want to express that or just be able to do it and just to say like, yeah, I did that. What of
yeah.
it?
I'm really trying to just follow my heart. And I mean, the older I get, I'm like, I just want to make the music that makes me happy without thinking about other people's opinions or whatever. But at the same time, it's like I'm a musician. I can be pretty sensitive at times, and so it's like, yeah, I do care about like the reception of my music and what other people think and stuff. But yeah, so there's that balance of like, okay, I just want to do what makes me happy, but also I care about like what are other people going to think of it too. So, yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna do that jazz polka Viking metal album, man, now's the time. Do it now before it gets too goofy.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just trying to like navigate how I feel about all my own music and ideas and stuff, and just taking my time with it. So, but I
Yeah.
definitely have a lot of stuff coming.
That's it's always that's I think that's just good advice for anybody who's like going into stuff like that. Like if you're capable of doing a lot, don't do it all at once. Take your time. Like
Yeah,
breathe and like you don't want to burn yourself out or you
yeah.
don't want to exhaust yourself to the point where you're just like forget it. I don't want to do this no more.
I
I
don't
give up.
want to. I don't
I'm
want
gonna
to
go
over.
become a real estate agent.
I don't want to saturate myself either, because like I've followed artists on Spotify before where like they literally have a new song dropping every Friday, and then like in the beginning you're like, oh cool, but then after a while you're just like, oh, another song by them, yeah, surprise, surprise, and it's just like you lose all that excitement and stuff. So Yeah, like when you mentioned earlier how I was dropping like at least one song a month. Sometimes it was like two or three songs a month. A couple or a few years ago. That was like part of like a New Year's resolution, and I was just like, I'm gonna drop at least one song a month. And it was cool to do that, and I stuck with it for a while, longer than a year, I'm pretty sure. Um, but yeah, I kind of got burned out with it a little bit, and um, just learning to like be more patient with my art and not rush it.
Yeah. I mean, that's a learning experience, you know? Like sometimes I mean, I don't think some people are even capable of following through with a New Year's resolution, let alone doing it a little longer than a year. But I mean, that's a level of dedication that some just don't have. And I think doing that is a good way of just learning and teaching yourself as you were going through. Because I mean, you know, you said you really just gotten into production and you were just like kind of molding your craft in that year and a half or whatever, however much longer than a year you were doing it. I'm sure you like picked up some new tricks of the trade or
Oh
shortcuts or
yeah.
stuff where you're like, I'm not going to do that like I did that last time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, every time I record a song, I feel like I learn something new. And yeah, it's just like that concept of the more you do it, like the better you get. Same with like playing drums or playing guitar. Like there's no shortcut. It's literally just spend more time doing it and you'll get better.
Yeah, that's unfortunately a lot of people think there's like a secret or a hack or a trick or some industry secret that they're all keeping in a well or like a cauldron somewhere where it's just like a switch, they flip it and you're instantly good. No, it's just a lot of time, a lot of practice, a lot of dedicating yourself to the
Yeah.
craft just so you can be good enough to play in the dark and you're sitting in beer, you're sitting in a stool covered in beer. It's just it's a weird art. It's a weird dynamic being a musician because it's like you gotta do all this thing and then you gotta go play for a venue that's probably gonna like try to like either get like shortchange you on your payment or they're going to basically put you in a room full of people that weren't there to see you. They came for the cover band that's headlining. It's a weird thing where you just kind of have to train yourself to be able to like be half like circus performer, homeless person, and really talented musician.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of when Strawberry Girls was first starting back in 2011. Like we literally, I mean, we started just out of like wanting to play music for fun and just out of passion, and we're still doing that. But like, we played every show we could possibly get on, and like we've played like every crappy venue you could possibly imagine. We played inside someone's mobile home before, and like in their kitchen, like
The
uh,
acoustics, dude, they must have been sick.
the acoustics were dope. But yeah, like I definitely feel like we paid our dues. Like we didn't get anything handed to us easily. I mean, we definitely got some good opportunities, obviously, because Zach was in Dance Gavin Dance, and like we got some good tours because of that. But like in the beginning, like we were just playing every local show we could.
Bro,
Like
these are actually pretty good. What's
the
up, Ryan? Yeah,
Hi, Zach. How are you doing?
Zach,
I've been cooking.
are these the
There,
rib tips?
yeah, there's a lot more,
Dude,
but
he's
I'm
cooking. Are you taking pictures?
like little effort as I put
Thank
in. It's like, oh shit, these are
He
actually
was cooking up
good. Rib tip.
some ribs.
Hell yeah. If you don't follow Zach Garren on social media, you're missing out. He has some really tasteful looking like food this man cooks, and it's always delicious, always health conscious, and it like
Always the best.
coupled really nicely with some sick riffs he posts sometimes.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Of course. How
I
are you
wish
enjoying tours, Zach?
it's been good. I mean, we're only like 2 days, two shows in, so
Yeah, you're
That's
playing
right.
sold out shows, dude.
yeah, like tomorrow is the first day that isn't like a makeup show from Queenie's last tour. So
Yeah.
that's the last two shows we've played. People bought tickets months ago, not knowing we were on the shows. So tomorrow will be the first one where like they actually could have bought a ticket knowing we are going to be on the show. So that'll be cool.
You're like dissecting hairs, like they don't know about us. It can't be because I'm so sick at the guitar.
It'll be cool if we have a few fans there, but we had some, like, regardless, who were just people who were like, "Oh, damn, like I didn't know you guys were going to be on this." So
Yeah.
that was cool.
I'm sure if anybody catches Strawberry Girls live, if they weren't a fan going in, they're gonna leave one.
Yeah, there's been a surprising amount of dads, like old dads. Maybe grandpas.
That's our target market.
Yeah, I think they've moved on to grandpas at this point.
A lot of New Balance shoes, you notice?
Yeah, it's been cool.
Hell yeah. I was telling Ben earlier, last time I saw you was at Stola's when they did the Living Creatures reunion show.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a good show. That was real
Yeah.
sick. We were trying to figure out if it was the original lineup. I was pretty sure
Yeah.
it was it?
RJ?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, Jason on vocals. Yeah,
Hell
they just
yeah.
did the first album all the way through.
It was a good night. And you had Sandy Bronco and you had Andrew Wells. That was just
Yeah.
solid, up to down, like great stuff.
Andrew
Also,
Stowe. Oh, yeah.
good job on your tour with Kurt Travis recently. That shit was tight, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, good to see you, man. I want some more ribs.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to I didn't want to keep asking, but you have a great night, man. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, these are really good.
I
I'm just over here chowing down some ribs in the hot tub.
mean, I don't want to keep you from your dinner, man. It doesn't have to go as long as you don't, as long as you want it to go. It doesn't have to be a certain amount of time.
For sure.
I enjoy talking to you always, though, Ben. I'm not gonna cut you off. I'm gonna keep you going until you're like, leave me alone.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, I think we were just talking about when Strawberry Girls started, we were just like playing every single possible show we could, no matter what. I mean, we didn't make money on most of the shows, like we probably lost money, but that's the dedication that it takes, is just like trying to get in front of people. I mean, we've literally played a show to one person before, like
That's part of it. That's part of it.
That happens.
Yeah, and my advice to anybody, if anyone's watching and they're thinking like maybe I can do music, but if I play to one person, it's gonna break me. That's a challenge to you. You're gonna entertain that one person. If that one person ends up being like after you said, be like, dude, that was pretty sick. It's like you won. They don't say shit. They're like, you suck. Like you still won. They stayed there and watched you.
Like I would feel bad if I was that one person watching a band, and then like, what if I had to go to the bathroom and just like leave and like they're just like,
how long is this band set?
But yeah, I mean, yeah, and like I was watching. We have a documentary of one of our first tours. Actually, I think it was our very first tour. It was not a national tour. It was just like a West Coast run, and I think it was like 5 or 6 shows. And on Vimeo, there's a documentary that our friend made. He came out with us on the tour, and he just filmed everything, and he made this like 45-minute long documentary. It's on Vimeo called Jam. And it's funny, and it's just nostalgic because it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like our very first show on that tour was supposed to be at Chain Reaction, and then it got canceled like the day of, or like maybe the night before or something like that. So we're like scrambling, like, oh crap, we just lost our first show. And I was looking forward to playing at Chain Reaction because like I had never played there before. I had always heard of that venue, and it's like an iconic venue,
Yeah, it's historic.
It's historic. Yeah, I was so bummed. I was like, dang, like we lost that show. I was looking forward to it, but anyway, so like we still ended up just driving down to LA, and then on that drive, I was like calling a bunch of places and just trying to find a place for us to play, and I found this bar in Long Beach called the Liquid Lounge, and we're just like, hey, like we're on tour. We lost our first show. Like we're just looking for a place to play. We're not asking for any money. And then they're like, yeah, sure, come play. So we ended up playing that show, and we had a blast. It was super fun. There was a lot of old dads there trying to like buy us shots and stuff. Yeah, it was cool.
And to anyone curious, don't worry. Ben has played Chain Reaction since. Don't worry.
I know, it's funny, like before that I just had this like grand idea of what the Chain Reaction was. I'm like, it's this like historic, amazing venue, and now it's like I played there so many times. It's like, I mean, I still love that venue, but it's like It's nothing really that special, but like
It's not Mount Olympus. It doesn't the halls don't glow. The shirts that line the walls, I'm sure have more personality and sweat mist than anything else, but there is something magical about being on that stage for the first time.
I actually do love playing there. Like
Mhm.
we've always had fun playing there. The sound's good.
Oh yeah.
The crowd's
And
always
you
fun. So yeah.
the best thing about it, because I think like the one way that anyone who plays chain reaction can remind themselves, like, yeah, it's just like a little long hallway that goes like this, but it's like I can literally go on YouTube right now and see everyone that is anyone from Blink 182 to AFI to
That's chain
literally
reaction.
anybody.
Yeah.
There's a video of them playing at Chain Reaction because that's what you do. Because Chain
Yeah.
Reaction is historic. Because
Yeah.
pretty much you gotta play it.
Yeah.
Disneyland's down the street. Damn it.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I've gotten to play there a handful of times. It's always been fun.
I mean, I'll take like Chain Reaction is dope. And we were talking about like 1720 before the interview, I believe. And I love that venue. It's great. Outside of it, it's a little scary, but it's a great venue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure you've played many a venue that's either in the industrial section or somewhere where you're just like, where am I?
Yep. Yeah.
It's part of that homeless circus thing where we're talking about being a touring musician. You got to have a little bit of toughness because you're going to be in some weird places that you're just like, are we safe to breathe here?
Yeah. Definitely had those situations a few times on tour where like homeless. Oh, sorry. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've had like homeless people follow me back to the van and stuff. Actually, one last time I was in Dallas, this homeless guy just like he was talking to me and stuff, and he just like got in the van with me and was like sitting next to me. And he's like, "I'm a rapper," and like he pulled up a beat on YouTube and he just started freestyle rapping. It was actually really dope. I took a video of it. But yeah, just like crazy experiences like that.
He's like, I can't just flip a switch and make you famous, right?
He wanted to come on tour with us so bad. He's like, "Take me with you."
It's like, can you pay? Can you chip in for gas, bro?
Yeah.
It's kind of expensive going on tour, man. We don't have room for another mouth to feed.
It is, dude. Yeah, it's like gas prices are crazy. It's insane.
Inflation is real. A recession is in the process. It's kind of a depression. It's tough right now, and everyone's just trying to make ends meet, man. It
Yeah,
gets a little harder every time, but man, you guys are
I
making
know.
it work.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, like, we have to raise our prices a little bit for merchandise just to like to cover, because like prices for the merch company that we work with like go up for the blank shirts and all the stuff. Like everything goes up, so then we have to charge more, and
Yeah,
so inflation.
everybody feels that pinch, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It happens to the best of us, and unfortunately, it's just like one of those things. As time progresses, it's just your dollar doesn't go as far as it used to, and it's frustrating to see because it's like I can remember when a hamburger was 29 cents on a Wednesday at McDonald's.
I know, dude. In-N-Out burger prices, like In-N-Out used a number one used to be what, like $4 or $5. Now it's like 9 or 10. Like,
Yeah. 20 bucks could like feed 2, 3 people like pretty good back in the day, dude. Nowadays,
like well, you
they
can't
don't
even
even
get one burger for $20.
Denny's got rid of the 2, 4, 6, 8 menu. Like, what's the point, dude?
Dang, dang.
Wendy's 4 for 4 ain't 4 for 4 no more, man. It's real, man. It's real. It's really happening, and I mean, shit. It's part of the evolution of it all. I mean, I don't know. I Live Nation's doing all that stuff that they're trying to do, and you got venues saying, "Oh, we're not going to take merch cuts," and
Yeah,
it's always fickle to see it at the start of it because it's like, "Oh, what's the worst that could happen?" And it's just like, "Well, give it a couple months, we'll see."
yeah, yeah. Merch cuts are rough, man. Like a lot of venues aren't doing it anymore, but when you do get hit with a merch cut, it just sucks. It's like, man, I'm giving up like all this money. That's our profit, and it's like, yeah, it really sucks. But,
Like, why else were all those people there? Like, well, can I have some of the bar? Or, like, what's happening, dog?
I know. Yeah, right.
Can't there just be like an exchange? I give you some of mine, you give me some of yours. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that's
I
you
appreciate
know,
you. I appreciate you having me on your podcast
oh yeah,
and
dude.
talking. Yes, it's been fun.
Heck yeah,
Um, uh,
dude. Like
yeah,
you've always been like straight up with me. You've always been really giving with your time, and you've always just been like a really cool dude to talk to. It's always just like it's not like one of those things where it's like, sorry, dude, I'm too cool. I gotta go, man. Rock star stat. Nah, like Ben, literally, you're one of the nicest souls I've ever had the pleasure of speaking with.
thank
And
you.
yeah, and you're like one of the most talented people in music that I have just baffled by the work rate and just how far your skills have come because your stuff does evolve with time, and it's just like watching you do that for like a year and a half. Because I was there, I
Yeah.
wasn't one of those people that was like, "Fuck, dude, again." It was it was like that in the sense where it's like I need to get to work, like I need to hustle more, but no, man, you are always on the cusp of something greater, and
Thank
it's
you.
an honor to watch you just keep on going, man. I'm glad you're still able to do tours. I'm glad you're selling out tours. I'm glad you're playing with great artists, and you continue to play with great artists. You told me at the beginning before this interview started, your first tour was with Stolas.
Mhm.
Now you're touring with Plenty. It's like it's
Yeah.
crazy how far that goes because I'm sure the Stolas tour. Were you guys the only instrumental band on the tour?
Yeah, it was just us and Stolas, and then there was like local bands and stuff.
Yeah, little
But
openers here and there, and it's
we've
just like,
definitely come a long way, Like, I mean, it's been cool, and over the past 10 years, like having toured with bands that I used to listen to when I was like in high school. Like we just did a tour a few months ago with Emery, who like I've been
oh yeah,
listening to since I was in high school, and it was just super cool getting to like meet them and hang out with them and play shows with them, and they liked our music, and it's just like whoa, like it's such a
we
great like full circle feeling.
we doing this. You just
Yeah,
like,
it's just like
am I
dang,
awake?
I used to listen to your like I like burned the CD and used to listen to it like in high school and crap. Um,
It's like now I'm on tour watching them eat gas station burritos, dude. This is sick.
and then like becoming friends and touring with the Fall of Troy, that was like a dream come true for me. I mean, they've been inspirational to me for a long time, especially their drummer Andrew was like you know
Nicest guy, dude.
oh
I
yeah,
had
I
the
love him to death.
yeah.
Like he's been a huge inspiration for my drumming, and so it's cool just like being friend. Like he literally texted me before our Portland show, and he was thinking about coming out. He wasn't able to make it, but it was just crazy that like one of my favorite drummers like reached out and was like, "Oh, I want to see your show,"
Oh yeah.
but I'm sure he had to take his kids trick or treating and stuff.
They just played a show here at the Nile, and Thomas was able to give me a photo pass, and like
Nice.
I helped run the Fall of Troy posting for him. I was just like, bro, like I've been running this Facebook group for like 3 years. You want to just record messages just to say like thanks for the support and all that. They were like super given with their
Cool.
time, and I plan on getting an interview with them. It's just everybody's busy. We're all juggling our schedules these days, and
Yeah,
I
they're
hope to
all
have Andrew
sweethearts. Yeah.
and Thomas both on here. I've interviewed Thomas before. Actually, like I came out to Arizona last year. I was in my homie's car. We were working like at a leather convention. We worked at a biker booth, and I interviewed Thomas for the first time in a car, like in the passenger seat. It was dark. It was similar to your situation, but less
Yeah.
like lighting in the background. Like you couldn't
Yeah.
see me at all. But yeah, I love Thomas. I love the Fall of Troy. Those guys are awesome. They're very giving with their time, and they're not. It's just like you. They ain't no sitting there going like, "I'm a rock star, bro. I ain't got time." They're just
I've always
down.
tried to like that's always been part of my I don't know concept or philosophy or whatever is like I never want to act like I'm too good for people. Like I'm just a person. I'm a human. I have feelings, emotions. I get depressed. I get lonely. Music has always been there for me, and that's why I love music so much, and especially guitar. Like
Yeah.
the guitar has just always been like therapeutic for me, and in my darkest times, like I can pick up my guitar and write and play, and yeah, that's part of why I love music so much. And it's also been I get messages fairly often from people who are just like, you've inspired me to like play drums or play guitar again. And it's just like really cool to like get messages like that, and knowing because sometimes being a human, I get depressed and I'll feel like, oh, what am I doing with my life? Like, does anyone even care about my music? But then I get a message like that, and I'm like, okay, that's right. Like, people do care, and it like helps people,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it's been really cool.
That's always a bonus, doesn't it? So it's just like, hey, it means something to me. And it's like, fuck, dude, I was just trying to figure out like if it sounded good on my speakers on my phone and in my car. I'm glad it means something to you though.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I know we're kind of wrapping up here. I had told a friend of mine if they, they were driving. They had a couple questions they wanted to ask you. Do you have time for like a
Yeah, let's do a couple more, and then I'm
yeah.
gonna go eat some steak.
I know you want ribs, man, but I don't want to. If someone's got some good questions I didn't ask, I think they should be asked.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see if we can get Kylar. You in here, bud? Yes, no, I can't hear you. I'm gonna let you make my interview awkward for just a little while. I can always edit around it, that's all I can. But I can't hear you, Kylar. I don't know if you, Ben can't hear you. I can't hear you. I don't know. I don't see you.
Yeah, I can't hear. I can't hear.
Hmm. Well, if I was Kylar, I'd probably ask, "How were those ribs, dude? Those look pretty good."
They were
Sure, he's gonna
fine.
post a picture.
Yeah, they were really good. Zach did a good job.
Oh yeah, I'm not kidding. Like anyone that's watching this that thinks I'm kidding, that Zach that posts really good looking pictures of food, like, do you know how hard it is to take pictures of food and make it look edible? Like, it's sometimes you take pictures of food and you're just like, the
What
heck,
is?
I ate that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Kylar, I'm trying to be polite.
Hey,
I see.
uh,
Oh, we
can you
got
hear me?
Kylar. What's up, homie?
Can okay, give me just a second.
All
Um,
right. Well, I'll give you that second. What else did Ben, what else did Zach cook?
He was making some ribs and some salmon and salad, and he was gonna cook some cauliflower and something else I forgot. But yeah, mainly salmon and ribs.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm guessing these are barbecue ribs, of course. Are we talking like smoky, sweet,
I
spicy?
think he put like some kind of seasoning on them, and then he seared them in a pan, and then I think he put them in the oven to cook for a little while. But yeah, they turned out nice.
Hell yeah. I'm about it. Kylar, do you have an update? I'm trying to be polite.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
It's
grabbing a jacket and then heading outside because my brother's
are
doing
you
homework.
cold outside?
It's like 40 degrees out, I think.
Why are you going outside?
Because my brother's doing homework.
Oh, got those badass questions for Ben Rosette. He needs to go in 40, 50 degrees. See, Ben, that means that much.
Dedication.
All right, I'm here and I'm ready. All right, so yeah, oh man, a little brisket. Um, yeah, well, how are you guys doing?
I'm
We're
great.
doing
I'm
well.
not freezing my ass off.
I'm doing well.
Yeah, it's always great when you're not freezing.
Yeah. I imagine
Um,
it.
yeah, so oh, sorry. Here, let me. How do I turn this back on? Oh,
Oh, well.
oh, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Awesome,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, we're doing good. It's been a long day. I've been fucking all
That's
over
fine,
California
Kyle.
today.
Did you have
Um,
you have a question or two for Ben? I'm trying to be polite.
yeah.
He wants to go eat dinner, but I saw your
Oh
I
yeah,
sent you that invite and you showed up, so I wanted to give you a chance to ask a question or two.
yeah. I don't wanna keep you. Let's see. I did have a couple. So let's see. Y'all asked anything about like festivals and stuff?
I don't
Anything like
believe
that?
so. I don't believe me and Ben had talked about any festivals. Are you in on any festivals, Ben?
No, not currently. We were supposed to be like on the Emery tour. There was some festival that they were a part of, and our booking agent was trying to get us on the festival. I forget what festival it was, but we ended up not getting on it. Um, and then we did get asked to play a festival in Texas this summer, but it was like, it's hard for us to do a one-off show these days because we're all in different cities. I'm up in Oregon, and Zach and Ian are down in California, and even Zach and Ian are like 2 hours apart. So it's kind of hard for us. So like they sent us an offer. It was for the Plus Fest, and
Hmm.
I heard about
Tang, yeah, Tang played that. It was like a math rock festival, super cool. We got an offer, but it just wasn't enough for us to be able to make it happen.
Yeah.
So we had to turn that down. But we that's something we have talked about. We'd love to be able to get on like bigger festivals. I mean, playing like Coachella or something would be a dream come true, or just like Arctangent in the UK would be super cool. We've had friends who have played that. I think Standards has played it multiple times, and Floral. Um, I don't know what other festivals would be cool, like Furnace Fest or something. Like,
it. Yeah. I could see you guys doing what's that one? Blue Mountain, something
Blue
like that?
Ridge. That's
Blue
always a
Ridge.
logistical nightmare every year, and somehow they
I
get to do it
heard
every
that.
year.
I heard that. I heard it sucks. And like I've heard like people are like, man, I would really love to do it, but it just sounds awful. Actually, I'm gonna turn this way.
Yeah, that would
Um,
be scary.
I
I mean, if when we were young would do a year for math rock, that'd be pretty sick.
yeah, that'd be dope.
yeah, get like uh get like
Because they did like pop punk
Fall of
this
Troy in
year.
there.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
math rock, math core, math, whatever. Throw it all together. Make it algebra fest.
Algebra Fest.
Does
There you
Fall
go.
of does Fall of Troy still like do anything?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're on. They just I just got I just did photos for them like a month ago.
they're pretty
Okay.
active.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
they're
I love
just
listening to
touring
their
on the
music. I
20
haven't
year
gotten into
for
stand-up.
yeah, they were doing the 20 year for their first album.
I kind of went backwards with my music. Uh, this kind of like genre. I feel like I started in the very emo prospect with like Pierce the Veil and ended up going
Hmm.
into stuff like this.
Nice.
Um, uh, yeah. I, man, what was the other thing that I really wanted to ask? Uh, dang.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. I do.
Yeah. I don't want to keep you. I just wanted to
You were
hop in
gung
and
ho.
kind of
You were
get
so
into
gung
these.
ho for this interview, and
Yeah.
I
I
love
was
you,
like, band
Kyle. All
Strawberry
right,
Girls.
you've come a little unprepared, but you showed up. You just wanted to see Ben so badly. I get it. Remember, Ben is just a guy. He's just a dude. He's really good at his instruments. He's in some really sick bands, but he's just a dude, man.
Yeah, I'm just a guy.
Yeah. Oh, that was the thing I was gonna ask actually. What is it like juggling like the different projects?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of just used to like having a lot of stuff going on, and I'm always like getting ideas for new things. And I mean, it kind of just depends on like who I have in my life and stuff. Like when I moved up to Oregon, I met a bunch of people. I met Kevin, who's one of my best friends, and then we started doing collabs, and then we started Pretty Cute, and we're still doing Pretty Cute. We haven't even played a show yet, but we've been working on an album, and we lost a bunch. Like, we had a bass player and a second guitarist, and then they moved away, and so we've had to like kind of put it on pause for a while, and then like try to find new people. So it's kind of just situational, just based on like what's going on in my life and stuff. But I mean, I love music. I mean, Strawberry Girls is always going to be my main thing, but since we live in different states, it's like when I'm not on tour, I'm going to be looking for something else to do too. So that's why I have like my project with Kevin, because he lives in the same city as me in Oregon. So we're doing Pretty Cute, and then I have my solo band that I'm doing, so I can play like local shows when I'm not on tour with Strawberry Girls, and then I have like some studio projects like Tajane, and then that like grindcore EP that I'm working on. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what to compare it to because it's just my life, but I'm just always trying to do as much as I possibly can while I'm still alive. So
Yeah.
I feel that.
I mean, compared, because you did have that year and a half run where you're just constantly releasing stuff, and you say you're practicing patience and stuff, but does part of you like go crazy if you're not working, if you're not busy, if you're not doing something? Because it just
a
seems
little,
like you got that work ethic, man. How do you do it?
yeah, I do kind of get stir crazy a little bit. I mean, this year has been a pretty wild year for me. Um, but yeah, like if there's other stuff in my life preventing me from like working on music, I do get like stir crazy. I'm like, man, I just need some time to like record a song or like, do something like with my music. So yeah, I definitely feel that. Like I get antsy sometimes to like put out stuff. But yeah.
I feel it, man. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I'm sure you're a hungry man. You got a good tour on your hands right here. I
Thank you.
appreciate Kylar coming in here and expressing his fandom with us here today. Thank you very much, Kylar. This has been Warp Taste Podcast with Ben Rosette. Ben, if you want to plug your socials or just how people can find you on the internet, or if there's something or a
Yeah.
band you want to shout out,
Yeah,
floor is yours.
Thanks for having me again. It's been fun. Yeah, I mean on socials, it's just like Instagram at Ben Rosette. Um,
That's with two
Facebook,
T's.
yeah, ROSETT. Same with Facebook. You can find me on there. Find me on YouTube. If you search Spirit Vision Records, that's my record label. Like, we have a YouTube channel, and there's a bunch of cool videos on there that you can watch with your friends. Um, let's see. I think that's pretty much it.
Hell
Yeah.
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 And thanks to Zach Garren for his little cameo appearance.
Yeah.
He's the maestro of making good food tonight. He's a little busy, but we appreciate him giving the time today. Same with you, Ben. I wish you guys and Strawberry Girls a very safe tour, safe travels, safe passage, and you guys keep on killing it. Thank you so much for watching this episode. This has been Warp Taste Podcast. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you, bro.
Thank
It's
you.
love.
No problem.
Peace. Bye.
Peace.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man.
Thanks, Ben.